know, who's a friend of my art dealer's, was at a New York con, and he got Chris Sprouse, who does Legion, to do a Jasmine sketch for me. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I think Chris Sprouse is a really good artist. He just caught Jasmine perfectly.
What would you say is your favorite work of your own?
It's hard to say. I tend to think in terms of like bodies of work rather than individual issues. I did on the FF as a chunk. I think it's pretty good.
How do you feel about Legends?
Legends, as in the book?
The miniseries.
The miniseries, yeah. It was a good idea, but it kind of got lost as we went along on it. So the final product was not what I signed on to do. So unfortunately, that happens quite a bit. And unfortunately, I'm one of those idiots who signs on to do something and then actually sticks with it, even when it turns into something that I don't want to do. I'm always drawing her in her costume, which she never wears.
How far in the future do you see the next man going? I mean, in terms of issues.
Well, I'm plotted up through about issue 50. And in fact, I'm kind of at a curious crossroads right now because I've realized I could actually finish it in issue 50. I can actually end the story. So I don't think I'm going to, but it mostly depends on what happens in the next couple of issues. Because what happens in the next couple of issues will be the point at which I make the decision whether to knock over this domino or that domino.
I see. How far ahead do you work usually?
Not as far as I should. Yeah, I'm working on Danger Unlimited 3 right now, and I just finished 24. I should really be about one issue further ahead than that for the best.
Don't want the image syndrome thing.
No. Well, those guys are the absolute masters of selling vapor, you know. Tell you a dark secret. You're all looking forward to Batman Spawn, I'm sure. Todd took 3 months off from Spawn to do Batman Spawn. You know how many pages he's done?
1. 1 page, huh?
Hey.
You brought us to about that last time.
Yep.
But Frank Miller's already read the whole thing?
Nope, Frank hasn't written any of it. He's plotted it, obviously.
Yeah.
But he can't write it until it's drawn.
Oh, I guess they're doing the Marvel.
Yeah. Especially when you're dealing with an artist like Todd who doesn't draw what you ask for anyway. There's no point in trying to write it before it's drawn.
How much work do you do in a day usually?
3 pages.
That's work till you get through, then quit? Is that?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Seems like compared to a lot of other artists, you just have a ton of work out there.
12,000 pages. I worked it out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which I think is about what Jack Kirby did in the first week and a half he was in it. But, yeah, 12,000 pages of professional comic book hoo-ha. There's a lot of dead trees.
A lot of dead trees. I died for a noble cause.
Do you see Danger Unlimited going to a miniseries format like next month?
It is a miniseries format, yeah.
Okay.
Although we're just going to have continuous numbering on it, but it will be 4 on, 1 off. I mean, X-Men comes out like this, Danger Unlimited comes out like this.
They kind of overlap.
Yeah, so there'll be every 4 months there'll only be 1 book on the stands, but except I'm going to screw that up pretty soon because the 2 arcs away on X-Men is a 6-parter.
Everything else in the works?
Depends on how you define in the works. I'm writing Hellboy for Mignola. I'm doing this year's action annual. I'm doing an adaptation of Harlan Ellison's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Oh, wow.
One of the most depressing stories I ever read.
All of his are, though, aren't they?
Yeah. And then I got Next Man.
Yeah.
DU.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I need here.
Do you do a lot of stuff like this?
Signings and conventions? Yeah, fair amount. More than I should, really. I've managed to, as I always seem to, I've managed to overcommit myself for the first part of the year. In fact, I agreed to do this one months ago, and then the tickets came this week. And, Christ, it's this weekend. That was kind of startling.
You should have been here yesterday. At least it was halfway decent weather-wise.
Well, considering what I left in Connecticut, this is pretty good.